Invoker offers a lot. He offers a lot of damage individually and as a group. Slark will be picked up on last Ronin. Interesting pickup. He does offer hold with his pounce. His Essence Shift will help him grab some of the stats coming out against if he's 1-in-1 against Lifesteal. And the invisibility from Slark is what's it called? Pure invisibility or whatever you want to call it. It means he won't be caught out of position. You can't reveal him, and that will give him enough time to escape unless he's completely silenced, which there's no silences, or locked down on the side of from raged.
Yeah, let's introduce the teams here. On the side of Rage Nerd, we do have their captain. Actually, I don't think Sleep is actually the captain, but Sleep is on the Lion. We do have Killcats, who I believe is the captain on the Invoker. Stew is on the Lifestealer, Darkness on that Visage, and last but not least, we've got some guy on that Clockwork.
And over on the side of last running, you got Bushido will be running your mid. Storm Spirit up at top lane. You got Reldeem picking up your Shadow Shaman, Psycho on that Crystal Maiden. Exile will be picking up your Suck, and finally, but not least, King on your Darkseer.
So both sides not going for any sort of. We generally see some, you know, everyone's going to group up as 5, go into enemy's jungle and try to pick off a kill. We see that quite a lot, but this game everyone's just sort of going into their own lanes, waiting for the creeps to spawn, placing down some wards as you do. Yeah, no ward. Actually, no, there they are. I was gonna say no wards on the side of Last Rain, but they've put them into this bottom jungle area, blind apparently.
And I believe this ward here does block out the camp, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's close enough to block that camp. Will it have to be on this
Well,
side
we'll
of
find
the
out in 12 seconds.
It has to be on that side of the desert. I'm not too sure. I think it should. If it does, well, it's not going to affect anyone since they're running the safe lane Clockwork down there against a Darkseer. So they're going to have a little bit of fun. And we're going to see an aggressive Trilon, which I think is the right ability coming out from Raged Nerd since you do have the Visage with the Lion. We're looking to find a kill. And you can find easy kills against a Crystal Maid and a Shadow Shaman. If they're caught out of position just a little bit, they will fall, they will pop, and they will burst like a balloon.
Yeah, and that camp is blocked, just by the way. So
Okay, cool.
it's a good choice. It's well not a common position either, so the chances of it getting de-awarded is pretty unlikely.
And down the bottom lane, actually, some guys going head to head with King, and he's taking a lot of Iron Shell damage, but he gets pushed back by the cogs, making one real wrong move, getting hit by that weird hitbox. I mean, they did fix the hitbox recently, where I think the cogs pushback range was quite ridiculous. No matter where you were, it felt like you got hit. Even if you're on the other side of the map, it felt you still got hit by the cogs at times. But it still has that awkward hitbox range, which is a pain to deal with.
On the inside.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be doing too much. They're pinging at Crystal Man. They want to get a hit on her, but Grave Chill's not going to be in range for it. I think they need to wait till level 2 at least for Visage, so you can have that Soul Assumption. Because if you have that Soul Assumption on top of the rest of the abilities there, then you should easily secure a kill. But until then, I don't think it's worth it trying to be as aggressive. Just absorb some XP and then go aggressive.
See, with this trialing from Rage, they have to actually make kills. They can't just stand here, and try to get farm from experience. It's not going to work well because this lifestealer, I mean, they're going to be pulling camps and creeps and whatnot, and this lifestealer is going to get denied farm. Slark versus the lifestealer, actually the Slark doesn't do too bad because of the essence shifts as well. It means that he's just doing extra damage to that lifestealer and also reducing the damage that the lifestealer does. It's really powerful, and like this is obviously later on in the game, not so much early. This Slark's just going to be trying to play safe. He's not doing too well in last hits. This Slark so far only has 4 compared to the Lifestealer's 9. But if they get some good pulls going with the creeps and whatnot, then that's going to be a lot of farm denied from that Lifestealer.
And actually, do we have an engagement up top? They're going on Psycho. We have a Purge coming out doing a little bit of damage, but this shouldn't be enough. Psycho, he will fall down. They hit level 2, they use a Soul Assumption, and they grab the first blood on top of that Visage.
The first of many points.
That's basically what they need to be doing. Sleep also on the Lion, he needs his level 6, so you have to put the aggression on.
Blocked.
And I love Darkness. He's picked up a magic stick, so he's already prepared to start grabbing that extra regen. Magic stick and magic wand gives you so much unpredictable to the opponent's unpredictable regen, because at any moment you could just grab an extra 150, about 200 HP with a magic wand if it's fully charged, and about 150 at magic stick, or just under 150 at magic stick. And not to mention the mana is useful as well. Being able to restore all that mana, and you can just go for round 2. It helps sustain in these lanes, especially against a Crystal Maiden who might be throwing down abilities to try and hold people in place. Exile, who will be spamming out his low cost abilities, and Shadow Shaman, if he's trying to do any lockdown, you grab all these charges up quite quickly.
Yeah, and those charges, as you were saying, it really does help a lot. And Crystal Maiden's a hero that's going to be spamming her abilities, so is Shadow Shaman. Slark, not so much, but at the same time, the more stacks you get of that, the more you can spam your Soul Assumption, and also your Grave Chill. You won't be pulling back in terms of, oh, will I have enough mana?
And actually we have a little bit of initiation. Frostbite going from Psycho. They jump on in. Sleep's going to be in a lot of trouble. He will fall down. The auto attack's coming from Exile. Exile's turning towards Darkness. He's doing a lot of damage. Lifesteal is trying to help him out here. The Sunstrike, unfortunately, not going to hit that Shadow Shaman. Exile's still going hard. He's got to purge. He's got to leap. He's got to decide which one he needs to use. And when he uses it, he uses the leap and gets killed by the Soul Assumption. And now Stu, he's walking around. He's raged up. Darkness is popping that self. He's in the tango. He's trying to help himself back up. He's got the soul. He's got the charges for his magic stick, and if he needs to use the Soul Assumption, but it's not necessary. Sleep comes back in. He throws out a stun, and they pick up another 2 kills. So that's a 3-for-1 trade at this top lane.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sleep, when he got jumped on, he wasn't able to get his Earth Spike off. If he did, they probably could have gotten... I don't know, I reckon if he actually got it off, the fight would have not gone as well as it did for them, because after the stun from Sleep, the rest of last Ronin would have backed off. They would still have gotten the kill, but Rage, they'd probably would have gotten one. But in that situation, because they felt like they can continue the aggression, because I had health and mana and whatnot, it was a nice turnaround from Raged.
And Sleep, and we got a nice...
Psycho.
Got a Shackle coming out to Stu. Stu's in a little trouble, but we saw the Crystal Nova instead of the Frostbite come out. But Sleep, he should fall here, and now Darkness, he's in an aggressive state. He's got some charges of his Soul Assumption. He wants to throw it out to someone. Not going to be able to get there in time. Not enough charges or enough damage done to a hero to be able to pick them off easily. But Crystal Maiden, she has not been casting the right abilities when she has. I mean, if they threw out the Frostbite a little bit earlier, they could have hooked one of the enemies up a bit higher and would have been a little bit safer. I mean, in the end, I am just nitpicking, but it could have been costly if there was enough initiation and turnaround from Raged Nerd. But everything worked out fine for last run in the end. But it's just one of those nitpicky things that she should have thrown out that Frostbite a little bit earlier. It would have been safer.
I'm gonna say, his lifesteal is doing incredibly well for last hits. He's currently on 1.5k gold. He has 22 losses to his name, which for an offlane lifestealer, it's not in a safe lane, they can't pull creeps to maintain the good lane equilibrium and all that sort of stuff. He's actually doing quite well.
Man. Speaking of lanes...
Same with Clockwork, 29.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of lanes, Clockwork is 29 for 4 up against the Darkseid 19 for 1, so this Iron Shell's not affecting him at all. He's not even using the rockets to last hit or help with that. He's sending them up top to try and wither down last Ronin and possibly steal an assist or grab an assist if there's an initiation up on top lane, which hasn't been the case so far in the game, but he's doing very well down here. He's got the levels, he's level 7. Usually you see a Clockwork once they hit level 6 they start roaming, especially in the off lane, but he's having more than a fun time down here grabbing it, and the other lanes have been able to stay in themselves. Invoker's not doing too bad in the middle. He's got a minus up and running. He's pretty much on par with Bushido, who's doing some nice last hits on 37 for 5 highest in the game. But yeah, I like this. They're getting the XP on the map. They're being aggressive up at top. And speaking of aggressive, they're going to be looking for... They're not going to be able to get the Shadow Shaman, but they turn to Sword. Psycho's in a lot of trouble. We have the Earth Spike being thrown out. That is the death on top of the Soul Assumption. And now the Sunstrike is going to whiff into the middle of nowhere. Now they're turning back to it. So that's a 1-for-1 trade in terms of supports. And now Excel is trying to get in there. He's trying to save Roden, but he's not going to be able to get that help. Excel is now in a lot of trouble. He needs to get out of it. He decided to man fight, and that was the biggest mistake he could make of this game was to man fight a Visage who's got Soul Assumption at full stacks.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Darkness ran into the trees though. He could have just walked out.
Dire's top tower is
But
under
he does
attack.
head back to base anyway to heal up his health and mana. I gotta say, in bottom lane, there is no soul ring on the Darkseer, which is actually very dangerous. I think some guy might even be able to kill him if if King's not careful here, because a hook shot, cogs, and then battery assault, that could be deadly, especially with some good body blocking.
Clockwork is always deadly. No matter where he is, he's gonna find a kill.
Yeah.
I mean, such a strong ability, the battery. So, I mean, it doesn't look like much. It's like, oh, it does 75 damage. Okay. Then times that by the interval of 0.7 seconds. That is 13 times, I think it is, 13 or 14 times it can hit you. So 17 by 13 or 14 times. That racks up to roughly about 850. Of course, half of that's not going to land if you're lucky. So that's about 400 damage still. And that's all the mini stuns, auto attacks, and then the rocket flare on top of that. That is easy enough to kill people half the time.
Yeah. Clockwork, best hero. Especially if you land a hook shot, it's an extra 100 damage at
Radiant's middle
level
tower
2,
is under
and then
attack.
300, so it scales by 100 each level. Which actually does decent because it also does damage to anything it passes through.
So at top lane we have an
Got a little
Invis
bit of
Storm
an
Spirit
AoE.
walking through the ward. Luckily, the Zip's coming in there, making sure they're going to land on Sleep. Sleep wasn't able to get the Earth Spike out. Didn't have enough kill Sleep before he can do anything. And he does get the Earth payout. Will it be enough? We do have an Invis coming up from Exile. He used it a little bit early, and it's not going to be used to any great effect. But they do get one, which
Yeah, I guess.
is worth it, I guess.
Yeah, it certainly was worth it, obviously, kill for no kill, but that ulti was a little bit interesting. Like, they didn't continue to dive. Generally, you pop that ulti if you really need to escape, or if you're gonna dive like a tier 1 or something like that, where, you know, the invis doesn't, the tower doesn't reveal the invis. So, a bit weird, but nonetheless, they still got a kill. They can't, I wouldn't be complaining if I were them.
Radiant's
Last
bottom
hits
tower
though,
is
last hits
under
are still in
attack.
favour of the Invoker. Storm Spirit 47 for 6, Clockwork 43 for 5, and the Lifesteal at 37. And look at the net worth though, Lifesteal and Invoker are ripping up the top, and Storm Spirit just ruins that as I talk about it. And then Lifesteal, but yeah, screw these heroes. The top 4 heroes are the Lifesteal, Invoker, Storm Spirit, and this Darkseer. They're doing quite well so far on farm. Their key items so far, Lifesteal minus, Invoker minus. On the Storm Spirit you do have just boots. He is saving up his money for a little bit more, and the Darkseer is working towards his mechanism. He's got arcane boots, and he's almost got his mech. But he might need to come top soon, which actually is TPing back to base. Not into the fountain, just close to the fountain.
Just a little bit out.
Dire's
But,
structures are fortified.
This is gonna be a relatively easy tier 1 tower, I feel, for Rage Nerd. They have these familiars who they can just drop down at any time to get the extra bonus damage. I really don't think they should back off here, especially with the Forge Spirits. I think they can take this, personally. But if they want to play it safe, I mean, they are ahead currently in kills, in terms of net worth overall. Same with gold difference, they're about 4k, but certainly they want to expand on that lead. And in fact, with that infest, it looks like they want to do something. Tower was denied, but Clockwork, look at that nice hookshot off.
They're
They
pinged
do
him out,
spot
they
him.
know he's here. Will we see Rocket coming out? Will we see the hookshot coming through? But it does not land through the gap. And Exile's going to be quite happy about that. If that had landed, that could have been death. Because, I mean, if you're trying to leap away from a socket that close on, you end up pouncing the enemy. You don't want to pounce like that. And they're not going to be able to grab one, but they will grab Sleep. Sleep should die pretty fast. He does get his Hex off. He does get a stone out. He's not going down without a fight. Soul Assumption picks off the poor Shadow Shaman, but he's got his wards down. His wards are doing a fair decent amount of damage. They turn towards Darkness. Darkness knocked down. We've got Exile trying to beat down some guy. Clockwork, he's trying to run. And Clockwork, he should be able to get on out of it without too much damage. Bushido, he will dodge the Sunstrike. We have a nice surge coming out of some guy, but some guy is just so tanky, and he's got the movement speed. He's going to pick up a haste, not a haste, and then Invis for his troubles.
That was, I mean, you know that hookshot there, so it missed Exile, and it actually was perfectly aligned with Raldeem, the Shadow Shaman, but it did not have range. It was just off by, I'd say, 200 range max. That's really unfortunate, but, you know, Ronin, they did a good job there to to deny that tower and to only make it a 1-for-1 trade. It could have certainly gone a lot worse for them. They did have to pop Shadow Shaman's ulti, but when you're going for 1-for-1, that's not such a bad thing.
But you'd hope to use those wards when they're off cooldown on towers, because at the moment they haven't got a single tower. And with a Shadow Shaman so in this game, you want to be pushing towers. Even if you have to have him by himself, and you maybe bait out a team fight but retreat and not lose anyone, and if Shadow Shaman can pick up a tower, it's worth it. But so far, wards, they've been good placements, but they haven't been doing too much.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't place them there in that last fight, it certainly would have went towards Rage Nerd's side, because those wards were doing so much damage to supports, but even Lifestealer and stuff, so they had to back off. But as you're saying, exactly right, like, you have to use those to get those early towers, because it's really what sets, not just the Shadow Shaman, but the rest of your team up. And, you know, you start getting a better map position, you can start being much more aggressive with smokes and just movement in general. And we do have quite a few pings, so they should know this is around.
They got a smoke, we got a shackle, we got a shackle, completely on top. Frostbite, you need to shift Q that hex up. He did not shift it up, so we got an instant rage. Vacuum, for some reason, being thrown out, and now they're going to continue down there, walking into the group. Visage, Familiar stuns, both at the same time. Hookshot coming in, into the backlines. He gets cogged into it. We got the 4-star, not the 4-star, we got the... that wave that does damage, and then some game picks up a double kill. That's the one. Oh, I'm forgetting everything at the moment. It's terrible. Old age.
Yeah, so 3 kills there for Rage Nerd. I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for these wards, because it's like, what, 38 gold per ward? It's not bad. Cash money.
Especially if there's 10 there, that's 380 gold just sitting there.
Yeah. But they're not, they're just going to try to go for this mid-tier 1 tower instead.
Yeah, that came down to one thing. The Shadow Shaman not shifting up that hex. That would have given you 2 seconds more of lockdown. That would have given you your Storm Spirit, your Vortex back in. Frostbite if required, even though he would have raged that. But you would have had the Vortex, which at this stage in the game is 2.5 seconds. You missed out on 4.5 seconds of more stun on the last dealer. And then he got to walk back into his team, and his team turned it around on you. But that's one thing you need to do for lots of Shadow Shaman players, or even is... you need to shift Q your ability after you use one. So if you use the shackle and you got a hex up, shift W your hex onto your target. Because then you'll instantly hex them, so they can't use a BKB, they can't do any shifty other moves. Yeah, so little tip.
Yeah, that's totally fair enough, and I'm not sure if... is there a cast animation or a cast time on the hex? Like, you know, the point...
I think
it's
about. I think because it's shift queued up, it's basically an instant after the frame that the shackle jumps off, and because you're facing the same direction, it's. I don't think there's any possible way of using a BKB or anything like that to get out of it, because it uses it on the same frame that the shackle drops down.
Alright, fair enough. But that's that certainly was... like, the jump on Lifestealer, and it's nice that they're trying to do smoke gank and whatnot. I feel like the last Ronin certainly have to do that with the lineup. But at the same time, Rage, they really reacted completely correctly, and turned it around to basically make it... it'll continue this game to their favor. This tier 1 tower in bottom is going to be taking a lot of damage. In fact, it might fall here from last Ronin. But it looks like they're happy to trade it for tier 1, potentially. Maybe even killing Redeem.
And at the same time, at top lane, Spark, he wants to maybe go in for Stu, but it's not going to be happening anytime soon. Mid lane and the bottom lane's where the action is. In Clockwork, he's trying to find himself a kill. He's going to throw a rocket in the outpost. No one's going to be there, but there's King. He's just sitting around and wait. At the same time, in mid lane, a lot of damage coming to the Storm Spirit. He tries to zip away. Unfortunately, Sleep wasn't paying attention. He caught a finger of death Bushido right there, and that would have picked him off. But we will see a haste being picked up by Sleep. Actually, what? Who picked that up? Oh, sorry, Sark picked that up.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nice hook shot.
I saw pings coming out. I'm like, oh, Lion picked up. And actually, mid lane, a lot of damage coming out. Visage picks him off with the soul assumption. Stone guy, or some guy, once again, very nice hook shot. It will land this time, and they do capitalize on that. And this should be a tier 1 mid gone. At the same time, though, bottom tower did fall. So they grabbed one. They're going to try and defend their mid tower, and they need to defend this. This is a key tower for them.
Yeah, I gotta say for as exactly as you said before, you know, Storm Spirit. Oh, hold that forward.
And then we got the soul assumption. Zip come flying on in, doing a lot of damage, pulls them back into the wall. One hero down for both sides. Crystal Maiden for the Invoker. Invoker buys back. Visage falls down. Darkseid's down. 2 for 2. Can Exile get on out of it? He's running. He does a purge if there was any kind of detrimental soul on him. The Sunstrike picks him off in the backgrounds. And Redeem, he shackles up Stu, but he's got no support. Finger of Death hurts Shadow Shaman very hard. It's not enough to kill him. He's going to pop that urn and heal himself back up. But that's a 3 for 2 trade. And unfortunately, last Ronin, they lost their Slark. Again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, the Invoker did buy back, I gotta say, for him to get that kill for Sunstrike.
Dire's top tower
But at
is
the
under
same time, you
attack.
don't want to be losing that Slark. He's meant to be the one who's got the most
Radiant's
farm,
bottom tower is
and
under
he's only got
attack.
31 last hits. Doesn't really have any items, really. Like he's got an Ogre Club, which I'm gonna guess is going towards the BKB. It's a bit strange. You generally see him going to the Shadow Blade, but then again, his game hasn't been the greatest so far. So maybe just wants to go for something a little bit more supporty. Oh, sorry, not supporty. Tanky and survivable.
And then I think I kind of need that, especially with a looming lion on the field. I mean, if he gets a hex off, then he's going to be able to line up his stun pretty easy, and then the rest comes after that, and you won't even be able to do anything. I mean, you don't even have time for a purge if he comes out of nowhere and places it on you, or he waits until that purge is finished and then puts it on you. He'll follow it up, Finger of Death, that's a lot of burst damage, and then you've got nothing to do. So I think a BKB will be quite worthwhile, because it'll let him stand there a little bit longer. Clockwork's not going to be doing as much damage. Visage can't do a single point of damage, nor can the Lion. So it'll be up to Invoker and the Lifesteal to do that right-click damage.
That's very, very true, and that's a Orchid up on the Storm Spirit. It's a big item for last round and quite an important one. Obviously, I would have liked to have that a little bit earlier, but I mean, with this, they should be even more aggressive if they really wanted to. And they're going for the top tier 1 tower. They will get this. I don't think the wards were necessary, but nonetheless, at the very least they pick it off, and they will have to defend the bottom tier 1 tower. They really don't want to lose all the tier 1s necessarily.
They're all TPing bottom. Do they know something could be going on at Rosh? Rockets are scouting out from that clockwork to make sure that they can find out where they are and push out that lane a little bit more. They will defend their bottom tier 1 tower, but at the same time, Rosh is still taking a lot of damage. The negative armor unfortunately does not work against Rosh in this case from the OP Forge Spirits. Stu's taking a lot of damage. If he screws this up even a little bit, he could die to this Roshan. And Storm Spirit, is he going to check? Not going to check, he's just going to walk on past. Invoker and those Forge Spirits are still trying at it. And he's still hiding away, trying to heal up. I don't know if that's, and we've got a few pings coming out. Are they going to think about going in there? Bushido, they're going to smoke up. It's going to be very close. Can they get this Roshan? The Infest comes on out. They're going to be going for it. They're not going to look in there. And the Roshan's down. Are they going to turn around? They're going to look at him. Cool Cats is in a lot of trouble. He's going to get vacuumed in, but he's got the invisibility. We do see Bushido's going to be flying away. We do see the death of the Shadow Shaman. The Aegis has been popped, but Shadow Shaman is down. We have the Crystal Maiden. He's taking a lot of damage. The wall is defensive wall to make sure that they don't run any further. And now, King, you need to get out of here. You've already saved one teammate. Now run for your life.
Nice for Sean. Gotta say, very sneaky. Last Ronin, they didn't spot it out. They didn't try to scout it or anything like that, which, you know, obviously a bit of a misplay. But at the same time, picking up that, like, you know, they still kill off the Aegis very quickly. So it's not like Rage Nerd can just go aggressive right now anyway. It just means that basically the team gets a little bit extra gold, which does allow Lifestyle to finish off his basher though.
So.
Boom! There
Bushido,
it goes.
once again, he's looking for a kill. He's picked up his first item, Orchid. Orchid is a very nice item, but Storm Spirit, you silence someone and then you work your magic against them. The only problem is, most people he's up against are tanky. The only possible is Sleep, which he's actually looking at going towards now. He's going to zip on in. We better grab him. He doesn't throw out the silence in time. And then Sleep's just like, I'm going to turn this back around. I want to fight you myself. I got TP support coming in, and now get the hell out of here. Now Bush runs away.
Tower is under
So,
attack.
One thing you can do for those players who don't quite know, you can use items and spells as Storm Spirit in that zip, silence on your way, or vortex, and you'll find yourself killing a hookshot down on bottom lane onto Psycho. Psycho's in a lot of trouble. Sunstrike will pick off Psycho, and now Royal Team will fall down to the meteorite and the deafening blast. And now they're looking good on some guys in a lot of trouble. He gets pulled back in, but shit is trying to find the kill. So mechanism is popped from King. They will get at least one kill back in the lines, and awards from Shadow Shaman push the rest of the side of Rage Nerd off. And now Excel, he's getting very aggressive. They have a zip coming in from Bushido. He does not have any mana left on him though. So they don't have any Revenants. They don't have any Vortexes. We have a Yule Scepter being thrown onto Exile. Exile misses his leap, but they still get a vacuum kill and Visage. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, and they defend the tier 1 tower down at bottom. At the same time though, Stu, nowhere in sight. Sleep, nowhere in sight of that fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, a bit of it was certainly a good engagement for last Ronin. They forced Rage Nerd forced the...
Actually, mid lane, they're going on Psycho. Psycho's in a lot of trouble. He gets auto attack down. Sleep's in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack. Can they find it? Exile's going for it. He's got to leap, but he can't leap past him. The Bushido says, I'll go grab him. They pick him up. They pick up the lifesteal, and they capitalize on two heroes that weren't originally in the team fight down bottom. They do lose a Crystal Maiden, but Squishy Maiden, that's her job.
That was a great pickup. Really well played. Unfortunately, this tier 1 tower in bottom probably will get denied. No, it does. Which obviously is nice, but now that's all the tier 1 towers down. It means that Rage Nerd can be more aggressive. They've still got the tier 1 tower in mid. So yeah, they can just basically just go for however they really want to here, and I feel like they really should. This is Rage Nerd, by the way. Get a nice infest onto some guy, get into hookshot into something, and create some plays for the rest of the team.
I have to say, Rage Nerd, because of that fight down bottom, they had their line. He walked around. These wards are ridiculous. They watch any movement in and out of the forest. They watch the bottom river and anything through that Roshan pit, which is down, but they watch any movement down there. They know where Last Ronin is at almost all times of the map. If they're not in one of these locations, then they know something's up. There's either a smoke or they're coming for them. So I really like this. They got all vision, and this allows them to be aggressive. And speaking of aggressive, Cool Cats, Deafening Blast, Sunstrike, and the Meteorite will find a kill. And now Psycho, he gets hookshot with the infest. He'll fall. King's in a lot of trouble. Soul Assumption, few auto attacks, nice creep blocking, and a lucky bash coming out from the lifesteal. So that's a double kill, and 3 heroes down on the side of Last Ronin.
That was just wonderfully played by Rage Nerd. Complete. I mean, the hookshot from some guy was absolutely fantastic. I gotta say, Killcast on this Invoker really knows how to combo his spells, because that was superb. It was perfectly executed, perfectly timed.
And that's the most damage you can do as an Invoker, is that Meteorite, Sunstrike, and Deafening Blast combination. Those 3 abilities, no matter what in the game, they will ruin heroes. And Stu, he's gone. He's going to ruin a hero of himself. He's trapped inside these wards. He's going to eat through them. He's going to grab some gold. Reduce the Invoker. He will fall. Slark's trying to man up. He pops his BKB late. He's going to have to run. And there goes the Crystal Maiden and Shadow Shaman. They're currently out of his fight. Invoker's still down. Lifesteal, he does fall. That's 2 heroes down. Unfortunately, at the same time, he did trade his lives. So Soul Spirit does fall down. And now, will we see Slark come back into action? He's already on the prowl. But he's not going to go any further. And the retreat from Rage Nerd's already on out of there. But you lost the Storm Spirit, you lost the Crystal Maiden, you lost the Shadow Shaman. Was it worth it to pick up a lifesteal and Invoker? Of bloody course it was. But how much was it? How well was it for Last Ronin? Yeah.
It's so that engagement, that tier 3 tower took a whole lot of damage. It's gonna get killed off. Another push coming up from Rage Nerd. They got the kill on Lifesteal and Invoker, as you were saying, but at the same time, I feel like it's looking pretty tough here for Last Ronin. They carry the Slark. He's not really doing too much damage. He needs more items to really help pick off that Lifesteal, especially since Lifesteal already has his Basher. Not sure if the pings looks like it's just for warding or something, but yeah, they really could start coming up with items from them. Darkseer, he's working towards a pipe. He already has his mechanism, and once he has that, sure, it's going to help against Lion and the Invoker and Visage, but at the same time that Lifestealer is really bringing the pain, especially since sorry, the Invoker is putting Alacrity on him, so it's just so much more damage just from the right clicks.
And so they do get a D-ward up, so they're removing a little bit of vision in their jungle, but not all of it. There's still one down near their trial walkway and in their ramps into their jungle, and there's also a very aggressive ward near their front ramp in the base. They're still watching all rotation around the map. They do currently see that there is a Slark sitting on the side, and they throw the sentry ward down, but is it in range? It is in range. That's a nice sentry ward, and good placement coming out from these heroes. I'm almost a little bit surprised that they found something there. I mean, something was up, and they got rid of it, so good work on the side of Ronin. And Exile, he takes so much damage from the Storm Spirits. They reduced his armor by 9 and almost killed him just auto-attacking creeps.
Sorry, was that the Forge Spirits?
Yeah, the Forge Spirits. I said Storm Spirit, didn't I?
I don't know. Maybe.
I would be too
But
surprised.
that's... yeah, I mean, those strikes, they're just so powerful. I didn't know they had the mana cost.
Who's got mana cost?
Those Forge Spirits, right? So those melting strikes. Armor removed per hit 1, max armor removed 10, duration 5, 40 mana cost. It says it's passive.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
It's not actually using the mana when they right click.
I think it's only when it's done to a hero unit, maybe?
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But by the time they're
Alright,
done anyway, they end up killing you.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that even had a mana cost on them in general. But I don't play Invoker much, so there you go, you learn something new every day.
I probably would be surprised if a lot of
Roshan?
Invokers didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess. That Roshan is going to spawn in about 45 seconds. So they're going to just hang around here, keep it scouted, because they know it's going to be coming up very soon. In the meantime though, try to go for the Slark, but nice leap out of there.
Do you think it's wise for Last Runner to go for trades here? Do they have the pushing a capability or more damage than Rage to be able to go for trades?
No. Because, see, if this Slark was, a little bit more online, had a bigger item, I'd say yes, because at the very least in team fights they have a chance. But currently in the team fights they have no chance, and really, Raged can, dictate the fights and...
I'm gonna vacuum wall. We do not have Shadow Shaman's wards. He did use it for the tier 2 tower up top lane. We got a lot of damage coming out. Meteorite. Deathly Blast is not to follow, but the Meteorite will do enough damage itself. BKB is popped by some guy. And Stu. Stu is standing around. He's fighting. They've found 2 kills on the Shadow Shaman and the Darkseid. They're gonna be looking for more. We do have Exile. He's trying to run away. He's looking at coming back in. He's being attacked down by Stu. Stu is going to fall underneath the tower. He doesn't get the Rage or Infest out. At the same time, the Invoker does find a kill on the Crystal Maiden. Will they be able to turn around and kill Cats? He does pop himself in the air with the Euro Scepter. Will be enough. It's not going to be enough. Exile, can he get out of it? The final auto attack will pick him off. Now there's just one hero left on the side of Last Ronin, and that's the Storm Spirit. He's already ran back to base. Some guy in Darkness are left on the side of Raged Nerd. But Raged Nerd, I would say they came out top there with the 4v3 trade.
Yep, also picked up the tier 2 tower. They did lose one as well, but they know the Roshan is up now, so they should be going for him once the Lifestealer and Invoker respawn.
And some guy, he's got a 4 stuff up his arsenal now. He did use his first BKB before, so that's his 10-second BKB charge, but that BKB did keep him alive, or he would have taken a whole lot of magic damage and fallen last initiation. Storm Spirit, he's got 3.3k up on him, so he just needs to grab a little bit more gold. He'll have his scythe, I think, let's see, 800, about... He'll need about another 1500 gold, and he'll have his scythe up and running. And they're just going to farm around, wait for that. I can't really see Last Ronin engaging until they have that. And then you add this, the tower. Once again, very questionable wards coming out by Real DM. He used it up in the top lane earlier to get that tier 2 tower, so they didn't have it in that last initiation. If they had it in that last initiation, that could have been a very different fight. But I don't know, Real DM's choices of wards at the moment, they're questionable at best.
Yeah, like that was, that tower was down in my opinion. Or like, I don't know, it just wasn't worth the tier 1 tower. So just pop that long. It's relatively long cooldown. 110 seconds. It's long.
Hmm.
Like they have a long uptime, so like the actual full downtime isn't that much because the duration's 35 seconds and the cooldown's 110. So like you've only got 65 seconds of downtime on them if you get the full duration off, which isn't bad, but at the same time you don't want to be wasting it.
Radiant's
Yeah, in the
bottom
case of what
tower
just
is
happened
under
there,
attack.
Stu, he farmed up the wards for himself, so he picked up about 300 gold off them. He was quite happy about that, and now he's got a heart of Tarask. Is it possible to kill him now? I mean, you killed him last fight, but now he's got a heart, and... Well, do you have the... Does... Last Ronin, they have the damage. You look at their Slark. He's going for the Basher, he now has it, but is a Basher enough?
Against this lifestyle, no, it's not enough at the moment. If they can hold off for like a long time and maybe stop this Roshan or something, potentially, like Storm Spirit has a Hex which is gonna help. In fact, they're going in for this. Looks like they're gonna try to contest it. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting fight.
And the Visage Familiars and the Rocket Scouts them out. We've got a Yule-Scepter going as a soldier. We've got the Meteor Blast, Deafening Blast, and the Sunstrike. Is it enough to kill him? It will kill. One of the big fights for Ronin are now down from that Storm Spirit. And Stu's still chasing them down. They pick off the Darkstone in the backlines from that Clockwork. And now Psycho's gone. 3 heroes down, 4 heroes down, and now the 5th hero is on the retreat. Buybacks are not available for anyone on the side of Last Ronin. This is a free Roshan, and if they want to, this could be a free Rax in mid. They have 30 seconds to make something happen.
Well, I'd say they have a little bit longer than that. That Storm Spirit's down for a little while longer, and he's the one with the Hex and the Silence. But you're definitely right, this is going to be at the very least a tier 3 tower, if not a Rax. Slark cannot do anything by himself,
Dire's
as
middle
much as he
tower
might
is
like to
under
try.
attack. Dire's structures
And there goes
are
the tier 3 tower.
fortified.
Gonna start working on that Rax. We got Last Ronin, they're sitting behind. They don't have any initiation for at least another 10 seconds. So there goes a free tier 3. Are they gonna decide to rotate around? Stu says, yes we are. I've got more than enough health to take this tower and more than enough damage to take it by myself. So they will start ripping through his tier 3 tower. It's going to take a lot of damage. Excel's coming on in. He pops the BKB. He doesn't land it, and he's leap onto anyone. You'll step up in the air. All the mobility on the side of Rage is kiting Excel around. We do have the Sunstrike out. It's not going to land on anyone. Excel doesn't take any damage since he is still BKB'd up and run. He hits Stu. Stu jumps inside in a fast onto Darkness, so they're not going to be able to find the kill there. Exile will go down. The wards are only killing creeps at this stage of the game. Visage Familiars is now down. Lifesteal is gone. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but they got racks. They got a lot of stuff here. Some guy's going to be able to get on out of here with too much hassle. Bushido can jump on in here. Will he do it is another question. Not going to be the case. And now King, he's taking a lot of damage from a Cold Snap and those Forged Spirits. But 2-for-2 trade. They got racks. They got a few buildings, and they almost got another tier 3.
Some guy actually managed to get on out of there from Bushido. Bushido ball lightning basically right on top, well, not right on top, but just onto the edge of some guy, and the cogs actually pushed Bushido, which allowed some guy to teleport just in time. But that tier 3 tower in bottom is now very, very low, so one more push from them, I should say from Rage Nerd, and they should be able to get that and another Rax, but that's one Rax down, as you were saying. Last Ronin, I think it's just a bit too late for them. It's like that Slark's starting to come online a little bit more, but he's going to need a lot more. I mean, there's the line with a Blink Dagger. I don't think it's going to be enough.
And once again, they've respawned, they're grouped up, they're going to Rosh. They're just going to wait around Rosh. They either take a team fight and win it around Rosh, they take Rosh and then they take a team fight in their base and then win it there. Yeah. Last Ronin, they're in a very, very big hole at the moment. Rage are starting to put some dirt on them, starting to bury them under there. And the last thing they're going to do, they're going to smoke. But they walk straight past creeps. These creeps are going to walk into the base. No one's defending it, so it's kind of obvious there's a smoke gank kid. And Rage, they have to wonder what and where are they? They're going to walk into him on the cliff. They grab some guy's not the guy you want to be going for. A nice tornado coming through the air. We've got a meteorite coming down doing a lot of damage. Psycho will fall. Exile will be able to do enough damage with not meteorite, but Invoker refreshes and starts to throw out another meteorite. But then he gets into the ghost walk. Exile gets burst down. That's 3 heroes down. Wouldn't be too surprised if we now see a GG come on out.
That refresher Invoker, a very interesting choice. I can't say I see it very often, but it's a nice choice because it means, you know, he gets that Deafening Blast off twice, he can Meteor twice if he has the mana pool. And it certainly helped him out there, as we saw he did use the Deafening Blast twice there. It's just, that just shows how far Rage Nerd are ahead. When your Invoker has a refresher at the 38-minute mark. That's quite a big lead.
And now, they are just rotating down bottom. They're just gonna go kill this tier 3, which is about to fall anyway. There's no wards up and running. There's no wall. There's Crystal Maiden. She does have a freezing field, but what's that going to do at this stage of the game? Nothing. And we have a hookshot coming from downtown. Some guy lands onto Roll Team, and then he jumps himself out of there, waits for his team to come in, and they will finish off Roll Team himself. And he gets pushed away by Cox. Lifesteal bops out. There goes Psycho. Darkster's been thrown up in the air. Darkster will fall shortly after that, and he's going to go and not have too much. Bushido jumps in. Bushido jumps out, and that's basically the game.
Basically, I mean, Exile's still trying to do some damage here, but shoot too much, too short, gets himself an ultra kill. You see a Rampage? No.
Dire's bottom barracks have fallen. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen. Dire's middle
Yeah.
Have we actually seen one in the tournament? Oh, I'm sure they actually. I'm sure they have been.
Dire's middle tower
I'm not sure if we
has
cast one
fallen.
though. Rampage.
I don't know. I don't think we have.
Mega kill! I'm over here.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I mean, we've seen
This
big
game
games
certainly
like
raised
we've seen big
Yeah.
games like 29 for 1 and stuff like that, but I don't think we've seen a Rampage come out of them.
Zap!
That's true.
And now, we just wait for the creeps. The creeps are working down. We're not going to get a GG, we're going to get an Ancient Fall, and you don't tend to see that too much these days.
Dire's agent is under attack.
They wanna go towards the end here, last Ronin.
They might even perform a little bit of seppuku after,
What'd I miss?
before they go down. Go down in honor.
Go down on here.
Here I am.
So they're still fighting around. Same guy, he might fall here. He will go down. So they get 1 kill. They force the rest of the side of Rage out of the base, but I really can't see them doing anything after this. Pounce up in a few seconds. Lifesteal's going to find himself. Kill Cats is going to make sure Exile can't hurt his fellow
Killing spree.
lion beast. I don't know what he is actually.
Dire's agent is under attack.
What is Visage?
A bunch of rocks stuck together by
Over
magic.
here. Where's the party?
I don't know.
Radiant
They're speaking World of Warcraft magic here. How could you?
I don't say it was WoW magic, I just said it was magic.
But please, everything in WoW is basically like rocks stuck together with magic. I'm just saying.
That's actually, yeah, now that you mention that.
Like you think of
Pretty
you think of a lot of the zones like Outlands, just lots of rocks, flying, magic. You look at the expansion of Kata, lots of rocks, flying, enemies, rocks. Everything's just damn rocks. Deathwing is just like crystallized rock. Anyway.
Different discussion. But yeah, that was a very well played game by Rage Nerd, and we've seen them play strongly up against IC as well, so looks like they'll be doing quite well. This is actually only their second game in this group stages. I've been Zarf, I've been joined by Yoshi. This has been a Defense of the Australians cast. Big thank you to our sponsors, Weta, for sponsoring the tournament. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Zellerf or at Twitter at ZellerofDota. You can follow DotaYoshi at youtube.com/DotaYoshi or on Twitter at DotaYoshi. Thank you guys very much.